Many gamers may recognize the name Taito. Taito is a developer who brought us several arcade and console hits such as Space Invaders, Darius, Bubble Bobble, Rainbow Islands, and Operation Wolf. But what many may not know was that Taito attempted to get in the console wars and release its very own console. Now, as a respected developer, it was easy to see why they wanted a piece of that console war revenue. It seemed everyone was getting into the console business. And so in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Taito Wowow. Now, as Nintendo and Sega both saw tremendous profits during the console wars, many companies stood watched and wondered how they could take part in the video game console success. Not content with just making software, Taito teamed up with ASCII and JSB, Japanese Satellite Broadcasting, which owned the satellite channel from which the console took its name, Wowow. Now, ASCII was a Japanese organization that delved into several different media practices such as publication, game entertainment, systems, semiconductors, and other ventures. Now, ASCII was founded in 1977 by Kazuhiko Nishi and Keiichiro Tsukamoto. Originally a publisher of a magazine with the same name, ASCII, talks between Bill Gates and Nishi led to the creation of Microsoft's first overseas sales office, ASCII Microsoft. Now, Wowow itself was a satellite and pay-per-view service station in Koto, Japan. Now, sadly, it already shut its doors back in mid-2011, but they were mostly known for rebroadcasting movies and producing a few of their own animes as well. Wowow was the first 24/7 3-channel full high-definition broadcaster in Japan. Now, JSB having their own satellite and channel station, and ASCII having developed their own satellite data communication systems, these three decided to venture together. Now, I'll start off by giving a huge shout out to my friends over at Unseen64 for sharing an interview that was done several years ago, even before Unseen had came to be. Now, much of this information came directly from the manager of the Research and Development Department of the Taito Corporation, Yukiharu Hanbei. Yukiharu was an electrical engineer who took interest in the microcomputers in the late 70s. He was inspired by the arcade game Space Invaders, and it motivated him to join the electronic video gaming industry. Now, after he joined Taito, he designed and managed many arcade hardware and game programs. He actually directed and managed the game Darius. Now, a Japanese administrator in the company had a plan for data broadcasting for Taito's future. Now, all the while, Yukiharu wanted to deliver games to home television sets. And he just so happened to learn JSB was trying to combine CPU and memory on its satellite receivers. So he contacted JSB and the project began. Now, Yukiharu soon climbed the ranks and became the manager of the new technology R&D in Taito. He directed some of Taito's young engineers and developed and designed the WoW video game console, including the hardware, sample game programs, and menu selection programs. Now, according to Yukiharu, the way that Wowow was supposed to work, Taito would send stream data to JSB satellite base, which was in Tokyo, through RJ45 connectors, and then JSB would in turn transfer those streams to satellite. Now, home detectors then detect the data flow and store it into memory receivers. Now, if subscribers would select a game or stream, said game would begin to play. Now, Taito's role in the process was the game delivery aspect. JSB was responsible for the satellite communication, and ASCII was responsible for data interfaces. And Taito intended to collect the game subscribers fee through JSB. Now, it seemed from my perspective that one of the biggest flaws this console would have had is the fact that developers stated they intended on keeping the game's memory size small, and they planned to use early 80s arcade games as presentation games. Now, it isn't sure if this was only intended for demo purposes or if they were actually going to stick with small size memory games all around. This would have meant that games probably wouldn't have looked that great for its time. Now, the idea of console exclusive games was explored. The developer stated that a modified version of Darius was being developed for the system as well. Now, there were two main reasons why this project was cancelled. The first is the data transferring speed was not enough, and many error correction packets ate up the data speeds. Users would have had to wait several minutes to download one small game, and if they tried to broadcast several games at the same time, the download time would have been even greater. And secondly, at the beginning, JSB intended to combine game hardware in the home satellite receiver, but the cost of memory at the time was very expensive, and the combination of memory and satellite receivers would have made it even more expensive. Now, what's interesting is that 5 years later, Nintendo absorbed a satellite music company, Saint Giga, and started their satellite download business in 1995, which many know as the Satellaview. Now that data stream service was the same structure that Taito had planned. Nintendo used their game console with special satellite equipment. Nintendo, however, shared many difficulties that Taito had expected. With the lack of success that Nintendo had with the Satellaview, it was probably best that Taito never ventured into that direction. Now the Taito Wowow was suspended at an early stage. A presentation and demo was made for newspapers and magazines. Now Yukiharu stated that the demo was good, however it was difficult to plan good future satellite games, and inevitably he decided to suspend the project altogether. He didn't count it as a failure though. It was due to its cancellation that he found a new entertainment business called Telecommunications Karaoke, which in Japan is known as Tushin Karaoke X2000 in 1992, and it was very successful. He founded the home karaoke business X55 Media Box in 1995 through analog telephone lines and distributed games to home as well. Now when asked if he had any demos or prototypes of the Taito Wowow, he simply stated, "I have no pictures or sample consoles." Now in the end, I guess one can say that this form of entertainment was simply too complex and way ahead of its time. But it definitely paved the way of how we view and play games nowadays. I mean, look at PSN and Xbox Live, even programs such as Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. Now unfortunately, aside from a few pictures, that is all we know of the Taito Wowow. Thank you guys for watching. Check out some of our other videos if you like. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and give us any suggestions for any future videos. Also check out our Facebook page and our Patreon page if you'd like. And I'll catch you all next time.